Hello and welcome to Guide Review on DG. And Korle Klottey once quoted that you can't control everything. Sometimes you just need to relax and have faith that things will work out. Let's go a little and just let life happen. Sometimes the urge to control things our own way becomes so strong that we tend to lose ourselves in the long run. But today, I want to tell you that you must always take things one day at a time. And at the end of the day, it will all make sense. And this is my motivational message for you today. I want to pose a question at you. When last did you visit your clinical psychologist or a psychologist for checkup? Years ago, right? Or perhaps never. Today, we'll be delving deep into the need to know your mental state and well-being on the show. My name is Sharon Brown Acquah. This is Guide Review. Thanks for staying. Now, this week has been quite an interesting one, I must say, with a series of events and attacks. But do share the story which you felt was most intriguing with us on Facebook and Instagram with the hashtag Guide Review, or get personal with me at I am Willis Brown on Instagram and Twitter. As usual, we'll begin the show with a newspaper review with our very own Alhaji Gomda, Chief News Editor of the Daily Guide newspaper. Alhaji, congratulations.
Congratulations. So you say Eid Mubarak.
Eid Mubarak.
Eid Mubarak, which is Arabic, and I think it's preferable to
the
Barka de Sallah, because Barka de Sallah is Hausa. Okay. But the Eid Mubarak is Arabic, and it represents Islam, so okay. That's okay.
Okay. I didn't take part in your fast, but I feel relieved for you.
Yeah. That's
and you look different. I like your frames.
That's right.
Anyway, so this week we're hit with a series of events. We heard about the national security raiding Citi Fm and Citi TV to arrest 2 journalists. But on Friday, the Minister of Information visited them at their firm, at their company, and he sort of commiserated with the victims. Now, if I'm to quote what he said, as a colleague and as a minister for the sector, I came by this morning to pay you a visit and to also express to you the worry with which we received the account on what transpired at the national security. We were worried because it does not reflect how staff of a security agency should treat anybody, be the person a citizen, let alone a journalist. If that person is under investigation, assisting an investigation, or being suspected as having done something untoward, like in this case, the suspicion of going contrary to the rules there, it still will not warrant that particular conduct as reported. And this was captured in the Daily Guide, on Daily Guide Network, that's the online for the company. Alhaji, just tell me.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think I will base my submission on what the president has said. The president has called for circumspection, restraints in how we address the subject, the issue, especially as he has charged the National Security Minister to probe what happened, and directed, even before that, his secretary, Nana Asante-Bediatu, to also reach out to the victims of the quote-unquote manhandling, with a view to establishing which of them breached the standards.
Yes.
I mean, did the journalists really go there taking shots of a national security installation? And did the reaction include manhandling of those suspected to have breached the standard, the no photography warning?
Yes.
You know, what really happened?
Yes.
It has to come out. And there is an aspect which didn't go well with me and with a lot of people in the country. It's sort of touched on ethnicity, that
Yes,
the guy
yes,
said
yes.
he had to conceal his ethnicity, but for which he could have been killed.
Yeah.
And that is unfortunate.
Not at all.
That aspect especially should be proved to really establish what he meant by that, because in this country, we don't have such challenges, ethnocentric challenges, to the extent that a security official would want to know which part of the country you hail from.
Yeah.
I think we have to find out what really happened. It's a delicate subject, and I think all comments should cease until the probe which have gone into it are concluded.
Yeah, I agree with you. Perhaps maybe he's been threatened or something when it comes to his ethnic group, the ethnic group he belongs to.
It's unfortunate. I mean, this is not something we should encourage in this country.
At all.
We belong to the same country, the same, sharing the common destiny and aspirations. So we want to see establish the authenticity of the claim by the journalist.
Okay.
And if indeed one of the security chaps went to that extent, he should be disciplined. And we have to really condemn that if it really happened.
If it really happened.
Yeah, we have to establish it first. It could be true, it could be otherwise.
Yes. We hope that they will be very open to us
exactly.
on that. Now, moving on. AMA and Korle Klottey are saying they are ready for floods. I don't know how ready they are, but okay, so this was captured on Graphic Online. And let me just read an excerpt to you. 2 assemblies in flood-prone areas of Accra have indicated their readiness for the rainy season. The Accra Metropolitan Assembly, AMA, and the Korle Klottey Municipal Assembly, KOKMA, say they have taken preventive steps to prevent their flood-prone communities from being hard hit this year. They said the measures, which included the provision of infrastructure, sensitization, and enforcement of bylaws, were adequate to help absorb any amount of rainfall. Speaking to the Daily Graphic in separate interviews about their preparedness for the onset of the rainy season, both the Municipal Chief Executive Officer of KOKMA, Ni Ejei, and the Head of Public Affairs of the AMA, Mr. Gilbert Ni Ankra, gave assurance that the preventive action taken would help avert the levels of flooding that displaced people in the past. Now, I don't know where exactly they are referring to when it comes to Korle Klottey, but I, being a resident of Adabraka, I haven't seen any kind of sensitization. So talking about readiness, I don't know where exactly they mean.
The readiness is interesting, and I liked their confidence. It wouldn't be long before Accra starts witnessing the onset of the perennial rains. And I think what we have to do is to adopt a wait-and-see approach to the level of confidence they have put out. I mean, for entities like that to really come out with such show of confidence regarding how they have taken measures to avert floods, well, it's heartwarming. Let's wait and see. I don't really know what they have done to warrant such show of confidence.
Me neither.
I'm excited. We'll wait and see and pray that the measures they have taken really pay. Otherwise, if there are floods, destructive floods,
we'll call them out.
The public will deal with them verbally.
We will.
Ghanaians are good at such. I mean, they will query them seriously because now they say they are ready. In other words, we wouldn't have
any floods.
So we wait and see. And then we congratulate them for the measures they have taken.
And good luck to them as well. Now, onto the Wesley Girls High School. No fast rule. Alhaji, honestly, I felt this was too exaggerated. And the chief imam had to speak several times, I believe, on this particular issue, captured on the City Newsroom website. The National Chief Imam, Sheikh Usman Nuhu Sharbutu, has called on the Ministry of Education and the Ghana Education Service to fast-track processes to find an amicable solution to the rift between the Muslim community and authorities of the Wesley Girls High School. The chief imam says bringing finality to the matter will help diffuse tensions. Authorities of the Wesley Girls High School have come under fire for not allowing Muslim students to fast during the Ramadan period. Speaking at this year's Eid celebration on Thursday, May 13, 2021, the national chief imam, through his spokesperson, Sheikh Aramiyal Shaibu, said his outfit is ready to cooperate in the matter. According to him, peace is always the first option to the national chief imam in matters of national interest. Alhaji, I would like to know.
Yeah, the Wegehe issue is a dicey one, it's a delicate one, and I think we have to be, we have to handle it with circumspection. This country is blessed with an interfaith harmony.
Yes.
Christians and Muslims have lived together for centuries. And for the first time, this issue cropped up, and there have been so much banter, exchanges,
yes.
Especially in the media between the two groupings.
Yeah.
In fact, some of the remarks have been too harsh from both sides.
Yes.
There was one gentleman from the Christian faith, I think he went overboard. And there have been Muslims too who have gone on a similar tangent. And I think the best thing is to let cool heads reign. It is good for our diversified nature to have children of both faiths attend the same school. Like the president said, learn each other's culture. It helps in achieving national cohesion. For instance, I mean, people who go to study theology learn comparative, religious faiths. I mean, the faiths of others, like yes. Islam. And Islamic scholars to learn about Christianity. It helps you to appreciate the others.
Yes.
And it enhances your knowledge. It broadens your outlook. So I think those who are for Christians to attend only Christian schools and Muslims Islamic schools, I beg to differ. Let us continue how we have always been. It helps in achieving national cohesion. The president has said that, look, we shouldn't turn our schools into ideological battlegrounds. I think let's go by it. Let us forgive each other and consider the national interest and let's move forward. Yes, God first. Our religions are important. Let us forgive each other. The National Chief Imam, I would recall, turned up at Christ the King Church.
Yes.
It was a beautiful thing. He did that to enhance the national cohesion thing I have referred to.
Yes.
Let us forgive each other and let's move on. Behind the scenes, I hear leaders of the two faiths, both of them instructively are Abrahamic faiths. They come from Abraham.
Yes.
So let us maintain the status quo of harmonious living
in the country.
And so on.
Okay.
I think that's the best way to go.
Okay, let's forgive each other. Let's bygones be bygones. Alhaji, thank you so much for coming. Alhaji Gomda is the chief news editor of the Daily Guide newspaper, and we've been discussing some important issues in the papers this week. Now, before we go on a break, a special report came in from our Northern Regional correspondent, Eric Combat, on the ill state of students in the Bumprugu Nakanduri district and the Northern School of Business. I will not pass any comments on that, but rather leave you to judge for yourselves and ask how we got here 64 years down the line. Please watch.
Pupils of Maim DA Primary School at Bimbago South in the Bumprugu Nakanduri district of the Northeast region risk dropping out of school due to the collapse of their classroom block. A rainstorm, which occurred Monday, May 2nd, 2021 dawn, destroyed the Maim DA Primary School classroom blocks, which has been in a deplorable state, built with mud and a death trap to pupils. The situation has compelled pupils to abandon school due to the lack of classrooms for teaching and learning to go on in the school. A visit to the school saw pupils sitting under trees at the mercy of the scorching sun due to the collapse of their classrooms. Information gathered indicates that throughout the week, no teaching and learning took place in the school because the school does not have a structure to accommodate the pupils. The Maim DA Primary School, which was established in 1992 as a community school, has not seen any renovation since it was constructed. The entire school does not have a single furniture and lacks basic materials to enhance teaching and learning. Currently, the population of the school from KG1 to Primary 6 stands at 200. Pupils have been forced to sit on floor whilst others sit on blocks. About 5 communities in the area depend on the school to ensure that children get access to education in the area. The peoples call on government and other organizations to come to their aid.
We are sitting on the floor. We don't have chairs to sit down. We want the government to put our school for us and give us chairs and sit.
The headmaster of the Maim DA Primary, Mr. Balamfani David, says the collapse of the school block and lack of furniture in the school has greatly affected teaching and learning and enrollment in the school.
We don't have any sitting place to sit today. If the people come, I don't know where I'm going to hold them and then teach them. The teaching is going to what? We don't have any place to sit. No desk for the people to sit. At the same time, no classroom. When this don't happen, I called GS and TS, then informed him. He told me that I should write a letter and then send it to the office. So I'm on the process of writing the letter. I hope tomorrow I'll send the letter and see how best they can help, and then we'll get the classroom to what? For learning and teaching to go on. We don't have any permanent place again, no temporary place again. We're in danger of this situation. No sitting place. Some of them to come, they are staying in the house. It's only few people who are coming to school. The rest, when they come, they don't have classroom to sit. And here the case, it is a raining season. You can't sit on the tree. If you are sitting on the tree, in case that there's rain, where are you going to sit? So because of that, some of the students, they decided to sit in the house, not coming to school. In case if you are in the house and now you are not going to school, also that you come to school. And this one is the emergency case. Immediately they have to do something first in a way that people will be able to capture them and then they will continue with their education.
Okay. The Sustainable Development Goal 4 calls for inclusive, equitable, quality education and promotion of lifelong learning opportunities for all.
Students of the Northern School of Business in the Northern region have been compelled to roam among homes in the Nobisco area in search of potable water due to the water shortage that has hit the school. A borehole drilled to complement a pipe in the school has dried up. The only pipe in the school, according to students, sometimes flows only on Saturdays or do not flow at all. The only option for students is to roam around neighboring homes and sometimes walk long distance to get access to potable water. Some parents and relatives are compelled to bring water from homes to their wards in the school due to the water crisis in the school. A visit to the school saw students roaming around the Nobisco area in search of potable water. This is what some of the students had to say about the water crisis in the school.
The water situation has a very bad effect on us because immediately after school, we need to observe a siesta. But due to the shortage of water, we always have to use the period we have to observe a siesta to go out looking for water. We are not even sure of where we get the water. We have to go by searching other houses, and sometimes other people, due to our number, they don't want to give us the water. So you have to move as far as you can to find the water. So before you come back, sometimes it's always in the evening. So you have to bath around that time and go in for preps around 7:30 again. So actually we don't have enough time to observe the siesta. And more to the point, we have to wash our school uniforms again. And all this is affecting us. So I've been happy if government could have done something about the water.
For the water in our school is very difficult. And then mostly we always want to go back to class close. But since there's no water after class, we move out to town and not even going to a specific place for water. We move out and we start begging. Then before we go, we are even tired. We may not even be able to learn more when we go for prep city. So we beg that maybe the government should come and help us with this water because it's really distracting our students.
In 2010, the United Nations General Assembly declared that human right to water entitles everyone to sufficient, safe, acceptable, physical, accessible, and affordable water for personal and domestic use. However, the reality is a contravention of the above. The Sustainable Development Goal 6, which Ghana is signatory to, talks about clean water and sanitation for all. Eric Combat, Daily Guide Network, Nobisco.
Right, so that came all the way from the north, but you're entreated to share your thoughts with us on Facebook and Instagram at Daily Guide Network, or get personal with me at Sharon Willis Brown. We'll be back with more right after this break. Please stay.